If you've spent 5 minutes on social media lately, you've heard the same story. The dollar is dead. The American empire is bankrupt. People are terrified that their savings will be worthless by next Tuesday. But here is the truth the doomers won't tell you. Betting against the greenback isn't just a mistake, it's fallen for propaganda. People have been predicting our currency's fall since the 1970s.
Yet here we are, stronger than ever. I'm an American, and I'm going to show you why we aren't just holding the lead, we own the stadium. Let's talk about the big bad wolf in the room, BRICS. They want you to think a gold-backed supercurrency is coming to destroy us. Really? Let's be honest for a second. China and India literally have border skirmishes with sticks and stones. Russia is a global pariah. Brazil is struggling with its own internal economic battles. Do you honestly think these countries, who don't even trust each other, are going to share a bank account? To have a global reserve currency, you need two things above all else: trust and transparency. Does the world trust the Chinese Communist Party to be transparent with its monetary policy?
Does the world trust Russia with its life savings? We all know the answer is a hard no.
Even the BRICS leaders admit it. As of 2026, they aren't planning to abandon the dollar because their own economies completely depend on it. They aren't building a replacement. They're building a protest sign. It's a group of rivals who dislike each other, but dislike us just a little bit more.
That's not a foundation for a new global financial system. So why is the dollar still king? It's a simple concept called the network effect. It has the same reason everyone uses English as the language of business, or why WhatsApp is the default messaging app in so many countries.
You use the dollar because everyone else uses the dollar. In 2026, the dollar is still involved in almost 90% of all foreign exchange transactions.
Think about that. If a company in Japan wants to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, they don't use yen or reals, they use dollars. To de-dollarize, the entire world would have to agree to change their systems, their contracts, and their entire financial plumbing at the exact same time. It would be like trying to get everyone on Earth to stop speaking English and start learning Esperanto on the same day. It's not a transition. That's a fairy tale. It's a coordinated global effort that's practically impossible.
The system is just too deeply integrated. And this brings us to the question the doomers never answer. If not the dollar, then what? Let's look at the alternatives. The euro? Europe's economy is a museum compared to our dynamic, innovative powerhouse. The continent struggles with demographic decline and regulatory sclerosis. The yuan? It's not a freely convertible currency. The Chinese government controls exactly how much money can leave the country. You can't just move your money out of China whenever you want. That's not a reserve currency. That's a financial prison.
What about gold? Try buying a fleet of jet engines or paying for $1 million software license with gold bars. It's completely impractical for modern global commerce.
The reality is, we have the deepest, most liquid, and most transparent financial markets in history. If a billionaire in Dubai or a tech giant in Tokyo wants to park their money somewhere safe, where it won't be seized by a dictator overnight, they come to us. We are the only true safe haven in a chaotic world. Now for the hard truth. A currency isn't just paper or a number on a screen, it's a promise. And that promise is backed by the most powerful kinetic force ever assembled in human history. The dollar is the reserve currency because the U.S. Navy secures the trade routes of the world. We protect the oceans. We ensure a ship carrying iPhones or crude oil can get from Singapore to London without being hijacked by pirates. Nearly all global maritime trade passes through choke points protected by the United States and its allies. As long as we control the seas, the world trades in our currency. It's that simple. If you want to replace the greenback, you don't just need a new currency. You need to replace 11 aircraft carriers and the entire global security architecture they represent. Any volunteers? Didn't think so. But the debt, I hear you screaming. $36 trillion is a massive, scary number. And you're right, it is. But here's what people fundamentally misunderstand. National debt is not like a credit card bill. We are not a household. We are a republic with the ability to tax the most productive private sector in the history of the world. Our assets, our land, our natural resources, our tech giants like Nvidia and Microsoft are worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. In 2026, our debt is actually the world's primary safety net. Global banks, foreign governments, and large corporations beg us to borrow their money by buying our Treasury bonds because we are the only truly risk-free asset on Earth. We have never defaulted on our debt. Not once. Our debt isn't a sign of weakness. It's the bedrock of global stability. Finally, the most important reason the dollar stays strong is because we innovate. We win the future. We are the home of artificial intelligence. We are the home of the private space race with companies like SpaceX. In 2025 alone, investment related to AI contributed more to our GDP than some entire sectors of the economy. We are not an empire in decline. We are a tech startup that happens to be 250 years old, constantly reinventing itself. As long as the future is being invented in American labs and garages, the world will need American dollars to buy a piece of it. Our economic dynamism is the ultimate backstop for our currency. So let's wrap this up. Things aren't perfect. I'll never claim they are. But de-dollarization is a headline designed to make you stay scared and keep clicking.
It's a narrative pushed by our rivals and amplified by people who profit from fear. We aren't failing, we are evolving. So to the gold bugs and the BRICS fans in the comments, I'm ready for you. Tell me which country you'd actually trust with your life savings more than the USA. I'll be waiting in the comments to tell you why you're wrong. Stay strong, stay American. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.